Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Tami Patzer. And today, my guest is Barbara, and she is an exceptional transformation coach, speaker, and author. She specializes in helping those who feel different from others to deeply connect with their authentic spiritual selves. She guides individuals to have a crystal clear vision of the life they truly want to live, unleashing the power within them to reignite their passion and purpose. Through her work, Barbara enables her clients to build soulful, profitable businesses, achieve their dreams, and live a fulfilled life on their own terms. Barbara has dedicated her career to supporting highly sensitive people, HSPs, empaths, intuitives, and spiritual entrepreneurs worldwide. With her guidance, countless individuals have embraced their true selves, discovered their passions, and created lives that make their hearts sing. Barbara is also the host of the popular podcast, 100% Yourself with Barbara, where she shares valuable insights and interviews inspiring individuals with being true to oneself. Her easygoing, down-to-earth style, combined with genuine love, care, and compassion, has made her a beloved figure in her field. Welcome, Barbara.
Wow, that's a beautiful introduction, Tami. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking at your image right now, and it says you're the soul igniter. And
Yes.
I think that's a true statement. It's very interesting. I put the call out for interviews, and the people who are showing up are often like you. They're people who are helping people to discover their true purpose. So I find that very interesting that, when I said, hey, would you like to be interviewed? I didn't have anyone in mind, but the people showing up are very phenomenal, like you. So first, I wanted to just get a little background. Can you share your personal journey and what led you to become a transformational coach?
Yes, I would love to. And I think that you might be attracting people that are talking about this because it's so relevant in the time that we are living right now. And my story starts when I was little already. I've always been different from other people, and I've always felt very different from everybody else. And I often got told things like, "Oh, but you are so sensitive," or "You really should learn how to not take things personal," or "You really need to grow with thicker skin," or uh, "Don't take everything too hard," or "Don't take everything so personal." Things like that. And I was bullied at school for being different. I come from an abuse background, so nowhere was really safe for me. And the combinedness of all of those things made me feel seriously that there was something wrong with me. That was what I thought for a long time, and I tried to change myself, to turn myself to be what I thought other people wanted me to be the perfect daughter or the perfect sister or the perfect friend or whatever I needed to be in order to finally maybe meet people that wanted to be my friend or wanted to hang out with me. And that also translated into the job that I eventually chose. It was not something that I really enjoyed. It's just, you do a certain education and then you start working because you need a job to pay the bills. And all of that combined, I think, led to me ending up in a severe burnout in 2010. And that started me on my journey of personal discovery, my self-development journey, because my boss at the time told me, "Oh, yeah, but you are an HSP because my wife is an HSP. You're exactly the same." And I didn't even know what it meant. I felt like I had let everybody down, by ending up in my burnout, I couldn't work anymore. I couldn't do anything anymore. I was beyond tired. And I honestly thought he was calling me a name. And I didn't know if I needed to be offended or not. But it stuck with me. So when I got back to my workstation, I decided to Google it. And then I discovered that HSP stands for highly sensitive person. So I started reading about high sensitivity, about the highly sensitive people. And I quickly discovered, well, it's like reading my own stories. I went to fora and read people's stories, their personal journeys. And I thought, if you change your name for my name, right, then it could be one-on-one. And that's when I realized, oh, I'm not weird. I'm not strange. I'm not broken. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm a highly sensitive person. That just means that things work a little bit differently for me. And that was the first puzzle piece. And from there, I always say we are like a jigsaw puzzle. And you need to find all of the pieces that make up you. And being an HSP is one of them. Being an empath is one of them. But I'm also a Heyoka empath, which is a specific type of empath, but also a Sigma empath. I am an extroverted introvert, or some people call that an empty ambivert. And I can go on with the names and the labels, but I'm not really a names and labels types of person. I don't fit in the box. I've never fit in the box. I think I'm a star shape or something, so I don't fit in a box. But all of these things are puzzle pieces. All of them tell me a little bit more about myself, and they help me understand myself better and better and better. So with every new thing I discovered about myself, I started loving myself and I started accepting myself. And that's the basic essence of what I now do with people. I used to call myself a transformation guide and a soul igniter, but it's quite long. So I shortened it to soul igniter because in the end that's what it's about, right? That you feel this spark that's within yourself, that you know who you are. You're not afraid to show it. You're not ashamed to be who you are. And you are very aware of your talents. You're very aware of your gifts, and you know how to use them to make a living that allows you to live the way that you want to be living. And somewhere along the journey, you've healed your hurts, your wounding.
It's so interesting to me because highly sensitive people, I've never heard that term until I saw it on your bio, but I definitely know many highly sensitive people, and the empathic and the intuitives. And I first started wondering, you talk about burnout, and I think that is what happens when people are, they're not in the right place, and
Yes.
and they are feeling everyone's, whatever it is that everybody is putting out into the world, and you're absorbing that, and you don't know how to shield from
Yeah.
other people's energy. So I wanted to know about, how do you work with people now to help them find their authentic spiritual selves? How do you help them ignite that soul purpose?
Mhm. That is an excellent question. So I am what's called a multi-potentialite. That means that I have many different passions, and that also means I've followed all of them. So you can call me an acupuncturist, you can call me a coach, you can also call me a teacher, you can call me an energetic healer, you can call me a shaman. There are many, many different names of what you can call me, many, many different modalities that I have learned and actively use. But the thing that has really become the core of what I do, that really helps ignite people, is for me the combination of using the tools human design and the gene keys. They are for me the yang and the yin, and they are your blueprint. It's like somebody took a picture the moment you were born of, well, the planetary alignment is a really big part of it. It's a combination of astrology, of the I Ching, of the Kabbalah, of the chakra systems, and the Chinese teachings, combined with things like neuroscience, epigenetics, and it's what it brings you is like a blueprint of who you are and what your calling is here in the world. It shows you your shadow energies, your shadow work, where you're stuck. It shows you your potential. It shows you your gifts, and it shows you your highest possibilities. But it also helps you see how you should make decisions, what your strategy should be, what type of business fits who you are, what type of person you are, and how your energy works. All of these things come from these systems. So the human design system is all of these things like practical yang doing energy. What is my specific type? What is my profile? How do I use my profile? What type of business fits that? How do I make decisions? What is my strategy, my business strategy, my personal strategy? So very hands-on, very applicable, hence the yang part. And then the yin, the gene keys, are more contemplating, going within, finding your wounding, doing your shadow work, connecting to the spiritual part, but also connecting to your soul and the spirit within, and then unlocking yourself layer by layer so that you can serve your highest calling.
It's overwhelming when you listen to it, but how difficult is it? How I know they're so time sensitive to things, and working on yourself obviously isn't something that you just snap your fingers and you're fixed or whatever.
No, if that was the case, I was a millionaire.
So what are some of the challenges that the people you're working with are facing, and how do you help them overcome the challenges and address that issue of the process?
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I always ran into when running my business is that I don't do one thing for one audience. So I have the similar audience, but they can be on specific parts in their journey. So this first group are people that are probably still working in their 9-to-5 job. They are feeling like there's something missing. They might be thinking, is this really all there is to life? But they can also be sick and tired of always being sick and tired, and their job is not giving them energy, or their life, they should be happy, they should be grateful, they have a good job, a loving partner, but they're not happy. So that could be the first group of people. And with them, I really go into why that is happening and where this balance comes from, and how to get to the place where you feel happy with your life, or at least know how to get there. And I can facilitate the entire process. So sometimes it was shadow work. It can be inner child healing. I can work on the 4 levels of the subconsciousness. So that means that I can also go to the deepest level, where blocks can be residing that you are not even aware of, that are still blocking you in your now life from getting what you want. Another big group of people that come to me are the people that have already started their journey a bit, and they probably have left corporate world or are on the verge of leaving corporate world, and they know that that is not their dream, and they either have already started their business or they're exploring starting their business. For the ones that have already started their business, they followed their dream, they listened, and they thought they had become clear on their purpose, but their business is not progressing. They're either not attracting clients at all, or they're constantly attracting the wrong type of clients, the nightmare clients, the energy sucking clients, and they are on the verge of having to give up on their dream and, God forbid, go back to corporate because the money is running out and the business is not running, and they've spent tons of money on guru here, professional there, course this, course that, and it's not working. So they are, on the verge of having to give up on their dream, or they are on the verge of giving up on the corporate world and stepping into the dream and wanting to do that the best way possible. For both, the way forward would be the same. It starts with your foundation, which is getting to know yourself really well, so that you come from who you really are, that you have a good grasp on what your talents are, your gifts are, so that you also know what to outsource, for instance, in your business, but that you also know what gives you energy, what you really want to be doing in your business, not just what you can, but the things that light you up. And then I can guide them on the entire process of running a successful business.
So when you work with these people, are you working with them in groups or one-on-one or a combination? Do you have specific programs that are designed for, like find yourself, so that you can get started, or
Mhm.
you've found that passion, but you're on the verge of giving it up? What programs do you have?
That's also an excellent question. So I don't believe in a one size fits all. And I also don't teach people my methods. I help people discover their methods. So that's where I differ from a lot of people. I have also low end to high end products. So it really depends on also where you are and what is financially possible. So one way could be to step into my community, my Solutions community, where we study the gene keys, where we study human design for a low monthly price, and where we have a group meeting every week to go further and to go deeper, and where you can already get some coaching. This is a great place to start. You can also work in my online program that I've written one for highly sensitive people, empaths, and their structure, their foundation, and then one on top of that for their business, which you can do together or you can do individually, depending on where you are already at. And I'm now in the process of building a whole academy around the gene keys and the human design. So for the courses, you can either do the self-study one, or you can step into a group program, or you can work with me one-on-one. I like to be this flexible and this broad because nobody is the same, and nobody's needs and possibilities are the same either.
So you work with a lot of people, well, highly sensitive people who are maybe they're healers, or they just want to they want to be of service. I think that that's a big thing right now, is people want to be doing what their purpose is, to serve humanity or the universe with whatever, like you said, whatever their gifts are. So how do you guide people to create these soulful yet profitable businesses?
Well, it starts by, on the one hand, understanding who you are, what you are meant to be doing. So, for instance, my profile is the profile of the teacher. So that means that I am here to help people and to teach them and to do it themselves. But a five-line person would be a problem solver. They would teach people how to solve specific problems, while I teach them a general way that they can tackle any problem with. So it depends on what type of profile you have, what type of business fits you. It could be that you are meant to be a coach. It could be that you are meant to be a blogger, or that you need to write books, or it could be that you are meant to be speaking on stages, or it could be that you are meant to create courses, programs, whatever. And so it's very important that you discover in what way you best express yourself. And then it's important to understand who you are meant to be serving. And that is also what gets clear from your blueprint. Who is your ideal audience? Who are you talking to? Who are you of service to? So if you know how to be of service and to whom to be of service, yeah.
Well, was very clearly was told that I was the messenger's messenger. So I took that as meaning that my job is to help people with these big missions and big messages get the word out into the world. And so that's what I've really been focusing on. So when this process of this creating your blueprint, how does that come about? Is that is that something that is done with writing or quizzes or surveys? How do you
No,
process that?
it's based on your birthday, your birth time, your birth location. People can already request a basic blueprint for $25 through my website, which combines both the human design and the gene keys, and already says a lot about who you are, which I handcraft. And then from there, you can either go to an extensive blueprint, because the basic blueprint is already a 20-page document with everything about you, which already is a lot to take in. So people also need to not be overwhelmed. Yeah, that will be the right word. But then you can either go towards an extensive blueprint, or you can have a reading done where we go over your blueprint and you can ask all the questions that you have, or specific situations that are showing up in your life. That could be the way to go, but you can also step into the community and start going through your blueprint. Everybody goes through their blueprint individually, and then we share collectively our contemplations, our questions, things that we're going through, and we offer support and growth, and I offer coaching. So that's what's in place right now, and I have started creating my new online programs to help people already go through their blueprint in more depth by themselves, so that this one-on-one sessions can be more in depth.
So I like that idea of doing that basic blueprint, and that would be a really good place to start, is with that basic blueprint. So you've also written some books. Can you tell me about the books you've written?
Yes, and I've been creating a lot more books at the moment, and not specific personal development books. So I wrote a couple of books on high sensitivity, especially also the combination of high sensitivity and burnout, and how that happens, with tips and things to get out of it. And now I've also created a lot of journals. So a gratitude journal, but also a shadow work journal, an inner child healing journal, a manifestation journal, and one that I'm very proud of that I call the Ultimate Rebel Unicorn Workbook, because that's in the end the conclusion I draw or drew about myself. I am a rebel unicorn. There was a period where I called myself a black sheep, and within my family, I am a black sheep, but I'm not black, and I'm also, well, maybe I'm still a sheep, but I'm more a rebel, different, but also unique, because even within the high sensitive community, or even within the empath community, I'm still very different from most other people. So, rebel unicorn.
I like that too. I know where this thing about being the black sheep of the family, really, it has a negative connotation, but if you actually look at it, it just means that you're different from
Yes,
the herd out there. So it's actually could be a compliment if you looked at it from that perspective of
exactly.
being unique. But I do know what you're saying about when you are different than other people, you don't know why or how. And I can see how as a child you had to question that. So you have a podcast, 100% Yourself with Barbara. Tell me more about that.
Well, the podcast is on hold at the moment, to be honest, and that's because I'm actively running 2 TV shows on my
Oh,
YouTube
okay.
channel, and the podcast became too much, so I've temporarily parked it until I can find adequate help to help me manage everything. But the 2 TV shows I have on YouTube are Awaken to Your Soul Path, where I interview with people about anything and everything to do with spiritual awakening and finding your soul and spirituality and such. And my other TV show is called HSP TV, where I talk to highly sensitive people, but also empaths, black sheeps, misfits, trailblazers, rebels, unicorns, aliens, about the things that we often struggle with, like boundary setting, taking care of yourself without feeling guilty, being able to say no, protecting your energy. But it can also be life stories of people and the things that they've overcome. So the why behind both of them is because this information wasn't available when I needed it, when I was going through all the hard things I had to go through. And I want to show people that they're not alone and that there are more people out there like them, that you're not weird, that you're not strange in the sense that there's something wrong with you. You're weird and strange in a beautiful, unique way, and you should own it and be proud of it.
I like that too. And you, I love the fact that you're doing the video or TV on YouTube, because a lot of people are very visual. Like this interview, for example, the final version is audio, but when I do the interviews, I want to see the person I'm talking to, because, we all have our the way we do our hands and our facial expressions and our voice inflections. And exactly. It helps me to follow along a lot better when I can see you. So you have the 2 TV shows, the podcast is on hold. Are the past episodes still available for that podcast? Okay, so still go listen to the different programs that are out there and go catch the TV shows. So do you have any other goals or plans? You have the new courses coming up.
Yeah, so the new courses in the new academy is the first goal that I have. And I'm also working on so many things. Sometimes I think, oh, girl, you're crazy. I am creating an oracle card deck. I am writing a book. I'm creating a planner. I'm creating a calendar. And I am creating my academy. And at the same time, I'm also working on my speaking engagement and working towards maybe a TED Talk, who knows, but something like that.
Well, I know just from the conversation we've had, obviously you have a lot to share with the world. So everyone, make sure that you check out the podcast and the TV shows. Where can people go? What is the best place for them to make contact with you?
Well, I am on all major social media, including my website, under HSP Coach Barbara with an E, it's Barbera. So my YouTube channel is /HSP Coach Barbara, Facebook, HSP Coach Barbara, LinkedIn, Instagram, everywhere. My YouTube channel would be a really great place to start if you want to see my energy and what I'm about and what I'm talking about, and get a real good feel for if you think that we could be an energetic match. And you can always reach out through me, through my website, send me an email, send me a WhatsApp, or just leave a comment on anything that you see, basically.
Okay. So it's HSP Barbara, Coach Barbara?
Coach Barbara, yeah.
Okay.
So HSP COACH BARBERA.
Right. So that's important. So it's HSP, highly sensitive people, Coach Barbara with an E. And I think that's important because of the spelling. Well, thank you so much. I don't know, I can feel your energy. And it's definitely exciting and positive. And I definitely, if I go to your website, hspcoachbarbara.com, I can find that blueprint information to get started.
It's the first thing you will see.
Okay, great. So everyone, I definitely think I'm going to do it. So I think you should do it too, because why not get that basic blueprint that can help you maybe start to unravel some of these feelings that you might have that you just don't quite get. Who are you? And we're all on our soul path and our journey. And it's just a matter of trying to figure out exactly, how and why and where we are in that journey. So I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to talk with you, Coach Barbara. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me, Tami. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Everyone, this is Dr. Tami Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.